everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Danielle. On this channel you can find a little bit about motherhood, pregnancy. This video, however, is all about the first trimester, so if you want to know about my symptoms I experienced in the first trimester, just stay tuned. Let's get into it. So I have my notebook to just remind me of some of the symptoms, so you might see me browsing along. So 4 weeks, that's just when you first find out that you're pregnant, you have your missed period. I was nauseous from the moment that I found out that I was pregnant. Hopefully this camera isn't crooked, but if it is, we're just gonna go with it because I will. So 4 weeks, I was nauseous from the day that I found out. I remember on the actual day that I found out I was pregnant, I went and I got some food that morning, took myself out to breakfast. And as I was eating, I was like, And I was like, man, that's weird. And then I thought to myself, I don't know why this food's making me feel like I'm going to throw up, but oh well, I've got to go to work today. I can't really think about it. So finding out I was pregnant was so exciting, so exhilarating. We were trying for baby number 2, so when it actually happened, it's like, what? Oh my God. So week 5, still very nauseous, not vomiting. I guess like the nausea in this pregnancy was much worse than my first pregnancy. Like I would be like making this dry throw up sound, but I wouldn't actually throw up, but it happened like pretty much every day. Exhaustion by week 5, like needing to stay in the bed so long, needing to sleep in the daytime, I have written down here, cramping every single night, like the cramps, they hurt too, like I was in so much pain, and I do have endometriosis, so maybe that's related, but I also started to get some like spotting around that time, but that's normal. I think that can be a part of like implementation bleeding, so pretty normal to get spotting around week 5. So week 6, the spotting for me continued, and that made me really nervous. I think I talked to my doctor about it, but I also had that in a previous pregnancy. Even though it had happened before, it still just made me nervous. So, and this is going to be TMI. Maybe this whole video will be TMI. But at week 6 is when the constipation started. In my pregnancies, I just can't go to the bathroom. And my stomach hurts. I'm so bloated. So from day to night is like a total difference. So my bump in the daytime, oh yeah, and I was showing almost immediately, like wildness, but they say that's the case with your third baby. I didn't expect that to be true, but literally I was like 8 weeks, maybe 8 or 9 weeks in Mexico, and I had a baby bump. So like from day to night with the bloating, with the constipation, my belly just really looked like really big. Week 7, more spotting. And I wrote down here, I'm so tired. Like I started to get moody. And this just like extreme fatigue. Like I was so tired. I'd go to bed probably about 8:30 at night. Really, when I put my toddler down, when we put him to sleep, shortly after that I would be going to bed. And then I developed a strategy, like my husband would play with my son before like he would take a bath, and during that time I'd go take a shower so that by the time we put him in bed I could go to sleep too. So I knew that it was bad, but I was just adjusting myself, because it was tough. It was very tough. I think week 9 I went to Mexico, and I'll probably insert a little clip of what that was like. I don't have a video talking about being pregnant in Mexico, but I was in the first trimester. I was tired. We had already booked the trip prior to finding out I was pregnant, so we weren't going to stay home. And we went to Mexico to celebrate my husband's birthday, so it was an incredible trip. But being pregnant on a trip isn't always fun because we stayed in an all-inclusive resort, all drinks and food included. And of course, I could not have any drinks that were alcoholic, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so week 10. I think I'm 10 weeks and maybe 3 days. I'll have to check. But this is the 10-week bump shot. 10 weeks. Extreme fatigue continues. I have a whole laundry list of symptoms here, so I'm just going to read off some of the things I was experiencing in week 10. Extreme nausea. I don't throw up, but I gag often. Like, oh, so bad. Nausea is worse at night. So they would say morning sickness, but for me, it would be nighttime sickness. I did get some gummies that help with that, and I'll insert a picture of what they look like. I'm not going to go downstairs and grab them. I'm just going to come back and insert a picture here on the screen somewhere of what these gummies look like, and I'll link them down below as well. These really helped me, and I also got Prego Pops from Amazon. I didn't have a lot of those. I just mainly took these gummies, and the gummies really helped me. But if you do not like ginger, I can't recommend the gummies because they do have a ginger taste to them. Again, the constipation was bad, and in week 10 I started spotting again. My prenatal vitamins, they made me feel worse. I didn't want to take them, but you have to take them for your baby. So I started at week 10 just taking them at night before I went to bed because, like, look, I was not going to feel horrible all day. I took them at night, and that really did help me. Moody, I was having mood swings, headache, gas, and this was really scary. At 10 weeks, I got some bright red blood, bright red spotting. So when my doctor confirmed my pregnancy, she let me know that I have a polyp. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that, but I had not personally heard of that. So it's like a polyp in the uterus, and this could cause bleeding. She let me know that it could cause bleeding, but to see bright red blood is still like a super scary thing. So I was terrified. But it stopped. It only lasted like a day, and then I didn't have it anymore, so that made me feel better. At 11 weeks. Okay, so this is my 11-week bump. I'll go to the side. Little bit bigger. At night, I'm super bloated. Like, oh my God, it hurts so bad at night, and I just get so big. So this is morning time. I have shown faster with this baby than my first baby. But I guess that's just the beauty of being a second time mom. I just got out of the shower, so my skin's a little bit red. 7 weeks. We're moving along. It was New Year's Eve for me. I did not even make it up to the New Year, y'all. I was so embarrassed. Like, I don't know if embarrassed is a word, but I could not stay up with my husband till midnight. I was asleep. He came in after, and he was like, "Happy New Year, Danielle." And I felt so bad. I was like, "Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I didn't stay up with you." But I just physically couldn't. Being pregnant, I was so tired, and I couldn't. So maybe in the next year, I'll be able to stay up, Lord willing. So symptoms at 11 weeks, still nauseous, a tiny bit more energy. So I was excited about that. A lot of gas. It feels like I need a midday nap, I wrote down. And nighttime was still the worst. I also have cholestasis of pregnancy. I'm telling y'all, I got all kind of stuff, which makes your skin really itchy. It's a condition with the liver. You can look it up. I'll put it on the screen. But I started itching, and at this point, I told my doctor I wanted a blood test to confirm if I had it or not. And we did my prenatal labs around this time, I'm thinking. And I actually did have it, or actually do have it. So that's something I'll be trying to manage throughout this pregnancy. So week 12, it looks like, I was hoping at week 12 I would get my energy restored. It was not. So I remember being like disappointed. Like, I was disappointed because I really hoped that I would get my energy back, and it didn't happen. Week 13, more moodiness, crying, and I usually don't even cry. I'm not a big crier, so I was crying, so tired, my boobs growing like crazy. And then we were kind of deciding about if we're going to do genetic testing to determine the sex, very important language we use these days, determine the sex of our baby, to, get the genetic testing for those particular reasons. And we ultimately have decided to do genetic testing. I'm actually scheduled for an appointment today to go in to get blood work for that and check on the baby. I was feeling a bit weird, so called my doctor, and I have an appointment scheduled for later today. So I know I said a lot in this video, and I've barely even paused or come up for air, but those are my symptoms that I've had so far in the first trimester. I might insert some bump photos if I have any. My shirt's got a stain on it. I might insert some bump photos if I have any. But what symptoms have you experienced? If you are pregnant right now, doesn't matter when you're seeing this video, just leave me a comment because I would love to congratulate you on your pregnancy. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one. I'm going to be talking about the second trimester. Bye.